look at this for pathetic, will you? Look at the size of Hiya.
Just squirted milk on the side of his
Yeah.
foot. You heard something.
He sits in your lap and has a bottle.
And his foot.
And he's 3/4 adult, right? But this is what it's like in the wild, because they will be with their mother up to 1 year. So they probably grab a little bit of titty every now and then and say, hey, mama, give me a little suck, baby. And then as they're weaning themselves off. It's like he just plays all the time and he eats solid food, obviously. But he still has the hankering every now and then for a bottle. He can get a little silly sometimes when you get the bottle and give you a little bit of a bite, which he did to me and Elizabeth this morning. But then, you know, he's sort of calmed down, right? But the way he sits there, like, you know, like a little fat Buddha, you know, having his bottle. But it is cute when they're that age, I've got to say, it really is. Because you don't normally sort of see him that size sitting there. And see, he's gaping there. He wants you to drip it down his throat. He's saying, oh, just squeeze the bloody thing, will you? I'm too tired to suck it. Yeah, I mean, he's just a sweet little thing, really. You know, when I say he has got a nasty bone in his body, he does, right? Yeah, he is food aggressive. I mean, he'll bite you if you're not fast enough.
Or to try to take the bottle out of
Yeah.
your mouth.
Oh, yeah. So even though he's loving, beautiful, you know, he's not neuro. So when he's not neuro, he can be a little bitey. Now, let's say, for example, you had one of these as a pet. We always talk about people saying would love one as a pet. He's beautiful like this, but then he bites you and he draws blood. They bite you right down to the bone sometimes, like a dog bite, right? And then you think, well, Jesus, bloody hell, that hurt. And then you can't smack them or try and discipline. They're not doing anything wrong in their mind, right? They're just saying, hey, get out. And then what happens is you're now scared to pick them up and go near them. So when you're scared to go pick them up, you don't pick them up. And so what happens is the less you have stuff to do with them, the more they wild up. And then when you go to touch them, when they're wilding up, they want to have a little crack at you because they're saying, hey, like being with you, just don't touch me. And then it's a slippery slope. At the end, they say, well, we've got a raccoon here we can't touch anymore. And, well, you know, I just want to say to people, you shouldn't have had the bloody thing all that time to start with because they don't make good pets as adults. The ones that you see that make good pets are neuro. I mean, that's when they're just like that. Part of the neuro disease is that they lose the ability really for stranger danger and aggression. You know, some of them, the aggression is like a light switch. It just goes off. You know, like Missy Moo as an example. She would have been just a normal female, not aggressive, but hey, touch me and I'll bite you, fair enough, to survivor of distemper. So, hello, could you give me a little cuddle? It's like some switch goes off in the brain. And they're beautiful when they're like that, don't get me wrong. And they're beautiful when they're normal. It's just that they're just normal. They just don't want to be touched by man as a rule, you know. And, you know, even with him being as good as what he is, he can still bite you too. As I say, he tried to bite me just before and he just nipped Elizabeth before. But he does the same. But he gets to the point where he bites Elizabeth sometimes. And he always tries to bite me, the little freak. But, you know, it's because he's a normal raccoon. He doesn't have neuro issues. He's got neurological issues being on the physical side, but not on the mental side. He's a normal raccoon other than that. Anyway, guys, he is so cute, just sitting there like a little Buddha. But you keep your hands away because he gets a little freakish. Yeah. I mean, he is a beautiful little thing, isn't he? We had another one, Gus was like that.
Oh, God, he was 6 months.
He was this size too. And he'd come up and Elizabeth would sit on the floor and he would sit in her lap and do the bottle. And then he'd just run off, don't touch me.
Yeah, I couldn't even touch him when he climbed in my lap.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, guys, that's little Hiya having his bottle. It is so cute. He looks like a little fat Buddha. I just think he's adorable. See ya.